Coordinates: 52 degrees 01, 19, N1 degree 08, 42, W, 52.021964 degrees N1.144899 degrees West, 52.021964. Minus 1.144899 Daimler AG, through its Mercedes-Benz brand, has been involved in Formula One as both team owner and engine manufacturer for various periods. Since 1954, they currently own 33% of the team based in Brackley, England, which is currently named Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team and uses a German license. Mercedes-branded teams are often referred to by their nickname, the Silver Arrows. Before the Second World War, Mercedes-Benz competed in the European Championship, winning 3 titles. The marque debuted in Formula One in 1954, after winning their first race at the 1954 French Grand Prix. Driver Juan Manuel Fangio won another 3 Grands Prix to win the 1954 Drivers' Championship and repeated this success in 1955. Despite winning 2 Drivers' Championships, Mercedes-Benz withdrew from motor racing after 1955 in response to the 1955 Le Mans disaster. Mercedes returned to Formula One in 1994 as an engine manufacturer in association with Ilmo, a British independent high-performance autosport engineering company, which developed their engines. The company won 1 constructors' title and 3 drivers' titles in a works partnership with McLaren, which lasted until 2009. In 2005, Ilmo was rebranded as Mercedes-AMG High Performance Powertrains. In 2010, the company bought the Braun GP team, rebranding it as Mercedes. After a major rule shake-up in 2014, Mercedes has become one of the most successful teams in Formula One history, having achieved consecutive drivers and constructors' championships from 2014 to 2020. It has set the new record for most wins in a season, and for most consecutive constructors' titles. The manufacturer has collected more than 200 wins as an engine supplier and is ranked second in Formula One history. 9 constructors and 13 drivers' championships have been won with Mercedes-Benz engines. Mercedes-Benz formerly competed in Grand Prix motor racing in the 1930s, when the Silver Arrows dominated the races alongside rivals Auto Union. Both teams were heavily funded by the Nazi regime, winning all European Grand Prix championships after 1934, of which Rudolf Cariacola won 3 for Mercedes-Benz. In 1954, Mercedes-Benz returned to what was now known as Formula One under the leadership of Alfred Neubauer, using the technologically advanced Mercedes-Benz W196. The car was run in both the conventional open-wheeled configuration and a streamlined form, which featured covered wheels and wider bodywork. Juan Manuel Fangio, the 1951 champion, transferred mid-season from Maserati to Mercedes-Benz for their debut at the French Grand Prix on 4 July 1954. The team had immediate success and recorded a 1-2 victory with Fangio and Carl Kling, as well as the fastest lap. Fangio went on to win 3 more races in 1954, winning the championship. The success continued into the 1955 season, with Mercedes-Benz developing the W196 throughout the year. Mercedes-Benz again dominated the season, with Fangio taking 4 races, and his new teammate Stirling Moss winning the British Grand Prix. Fangio and Moss finished first and second in that year's championship. The 1955 disaster at the 24 Hours of Le Mans on the 11th of June, which killed Mercedes-Benz sportscar driver Pierre Levague and more than 80 spectators, led to the cancellations of the French, German, Spanish, and Swiss Grands Prix. At the end of the season, the team withdrew from motorsport, including Formula One. During this first period of the team's participation in Formula One, Mercedes won 9 races in total, including 3 Grands Prix won by the streamlined type Monza, making them the only 3 races won by a closed-wheel car in Formula One history. Before the start of the 2010 season, Mercedes-Benz's parent company Daimler AG bought a minority stake in the Braun GP team, with Arbor Investments purchasing 30% on the 16th of November 2009. Following the purchase of the team, as well as a sponsorship deal with Petronas, the team was rebranded as Mercedes GP Petronas Formula One Team. and Mercedes would now compete in the Constructors' Championship for the first time. Ross Brawn continued his duties as team principal and the team retained its base and workforce in Brackley, close to the Mercedes-Benz Formula One engine plant in Brixworth. The team has a complex history. Its entry can be traced back to Tyrrell Racing, who competed as a constructor from 1970 until 1998. Until being bought by British American Tobacco at the end of 1997 so its entry could be transferred to the then new constructor British American Racing in 1999. BA, who had formed a partnership with Honda, eventually became Honda Racing F1 team in 2006 when British American Tobacco withdrew from the sport. It again changed hands in 2008, when Honda withdrew, and was purchased by the team's management, naming it Brawn GP after team principal Ross Brawn. Brawn used engines from Mercedes-Benz high-performance engines,